Hello, this is Will Schlecht from IronCrow AI, and today I'm going to be discussing our new kind of chatbot deployment feature, which enables you to send out standalone chatbots that are powered by your custom prompts in your sandbox prompt library. So to start, I'll navigate to your prompt library, and this is where you've got custom prompts to accomplish miscellaneous tasks. It's really the most open-ended part of the very open-ended tool that is the LLM sandbox. You can create prompts here to do various things. But what we're going to be talking about today is this new feature where you can deploy these prompts. So the use case for this, the kind of inspiration for why we have created this ability to make chatbots is that invention disclosure meetings are very important when it comes to drafting a strong patent application. It's important to get as much information from the inventors as possible. And it's not always possible to have a ton of meetings with the inventors. As much as possible, that's preferred to meet in person, but sometimes you need to have follow-up questions, or maybe you're just not able to attend a meeting, and it would be nice to kind of automate the process of having an inventor write down in a form that will then be usable by other machine learning tools to help draft the application, to have the inventor kind of encode their ideas in a written form. And that can be facilitated by this kind of chatbot. So this is basically an invention disclosure assistant or harvest invention harvesting tool. So I'll show you what this tool basically consists of, what this custom prompt consists of. So it's system role, which is really the important parameter for these chatbots that we're going to deploy. It says that it's an assistant that specializes in conducting discussions with inventors. It's been provided with disclosure documents. So I'll show you how to add the disclosure documents to these chatbots so that they can then kind of use those disclosure documents to generate questions and to make sure that that disclosure is completely fleshed out. And then basically telling this tool that its job is to obtain as much technically detailed information about that invention as possible. And then once it has enough information, to tell the user to conclude the conversation. So that's what this base prompt is. And now when we want to generate a link and a chatbot that can be accessed by an inventor, we can click deploy. We're going to need to give this chatbot a name. So we're going to call this invention disclosure chatbot. We can add context files. We're going to give it the invention disclosure documents. These context files are from saved conversations. And in another video, we talk about how to save conversations. But the idea is that in a conversation, you might have lots of documents that you're working with. When you first start drafting an application, you're going to upload probably the invention disclosure documents. So if you've already started working on an application, you can leverage the fact that you've already got those documents in a nice machine readable format by just selecting that saved conversation. So then kind of attaching that case or those documents to this chatbot so that the chatbot will have that knowledge when it's conducting this kind of inventor disclosure meeting. We're going to add a password. This will protect the chatbot from being accessed by people that don't have the password. Passwords are optional. The URL that we generate for these is very long, and therefore it's statistically unlikely that anyone could ever guess a valid URL to access your chatbot. But it's good to have two layers of protection, especially since this is, theoretically it's going to be confidential information. So always password protect. And then you can set a duration as another security measure. You can set how long you want this chatbot to exist. So we're going to, oh, I think I closed it. Let me do that again. Invention disclosure questions. So we're going to set this to just 1 hour and give it a simple password. So once we've set all of our parameters for the chatbot that we want to deploy, we can click deploy. It will create the chatbot and create a link where you can then access that. So we're going to copy this link. It tells us that the link has been copied. And once we have created a chatbot from one of our prompts, that will appear here in the active deployment section where we have all the information about that chatbot. So we can see when it expires, when it was created, how many people have accessed it, if it's password protected, etc. And we can also delete the chatbot at any time. So now let's go to this chatbot that we've created and enter our password. And now we're in our custom invention disclosure questions chatbot. We can say, pretend to be the inventor. Hello, my name is Joe Inventor, and my patent attorney told me to discuss my invention with you. The documents that it has, it's just kind of an example demo document. It's not a real invention disclosure document, and it doesn't really have particularly detailed information, but you can see it's going to come up with some questions related to this invention disclosure. We didn't actually have to give it any of these questions. It's able to come up with these itself based off of its system role and based off of the disclosure document that we attach to it. And the nice thing about this compositionality is that we can have one prompt, one basic prompt for how invention disclosure meetings should be conducted. And then we can attach to it the files or conversations from different specific cases. So we don't have to make a different system prompt or custom prompt for every different invention we work on. We can just have one kind of nexus prompt that we then attach different disclosure materials to, and it's going to conduct invention disclosure meeting on our behalf. So this is the interface. Once the conversation has progressed to a point where it's satisfied this criteria that we have at the end, which is that once you have obtained sufficient technical information, please prompt the inventor to click conclude conversation. So this is the conclude conversation button. So once that is clicked, it's going to tell the inventor that that chat history is going to be sent to the creator of the chatbot. So it would be you or me in this case. So yes, I consent to that. Please send the information. So, all right, it's going to send an email to me or whoever created this chatbot with the transcript from that discussion. So there you go. You'll now have access to this record of the invention disclosure meeting. And I will copy this and show you what that transcript looks like, but it's basically just a text file. Yeah, it's basically just a text file that includes all of the chats that went back and forth. And the way that you can use that is, we'll close this, but you could use it in lots of ways. But I think the way that makes sense is if you're drafting an application, you can add it as content to the application that you're drafting. So it's a way to bolster the existing disclosure documents. You can also kind of transform it. So I've already uploaded this conversation test transcript. You could then transform it. So maybe you want to fill out your company's particular invention disclosure template. You could then take that whole conversation, which might be quite long, and you can turn that into a kind of a formatted output. I won't show how to do that, but basically, now that you've got that information in the form of text, you can use all of the other tools that exist within the LLM sandbox to do anything you want with it. But I think, yeah, it makes the most sense to just add it as a content file here. And then as you're drafting the application, it will pull that relevant information from your documents. And once you have, once you've got that information or you want to end this deployment, you can just revoke that chatbot. It will delete it. It's gone. As you can see, if we were here and we refresh this, yep, it's closed. So the chatbot can no longer be accessed, and all of those files that were associated with it are deleted. So that is how you can turn your custom prompts into standalone chatbots. I don't remember if I said it, but I think that the kind of overall way that I think of this tool is like a semi semi-autonomous email. You can basically draft an interactive email that then goes out, and instead of just being a static list of your ideas, it can be kind of like a more dynamic interactive experience for the recipient, who can then um, kind of be helped along by this tool to draw more information out of them to hopefully make better patent applications. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll talk to you again next time.